Order, CRB. First thing is approval of the June and July minutes. I'm making a motion to approve the minutes. I need someone to second it.
Can you just give me 1 second till I get my folder,
Absolutely.
please? Because no, I didn't read my email.
Okay, that's good.
I have one, I just don't know
I don't know, are we waiting on you?
Oh, yeah, it's okay. No. Take your time. What? I know.
I'm ready, thank you.
Okay, everybody good? Everybody good? Oh, yeah. Okay. Motion to approve the minutes. I'm making motions. Joe seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Very good. Okay. We have guests. Sue Katzoff, Corporate Counsel. Welcome. You want to say something to us?
You can say yes,
Yeah,
because they'll say
it's-
that the microphone.
Yeah, that way it gets recorded.
Okay, look at turn. First of all, thank you for letting me come, and really, I just wanted to introduce myself to you. I apologize that it has been so long. I've been in my position here with the city a little over a year, and for those of you who don't know, my office as Corporation Counsel represents all of the city's agencies as well as the city. And Ryan Susser, who I know you guys know very well, at my office insistence, actually before I got here, we retained Ryan to represent you guys because we thought that if there was an issue and there was a conflict, it would be better for everybody if you had separate counsel. But in terms of day-to-day, if you ever have questions, my office is here to serve you. If there were to be, I don't know, a change in a state legislation or a new law that came into effect that impacted what you do in any way, my office would notify you. If you ever have questions about the legislation you're governed under or day-to-day operations or open meetings law or FOIL or, I don't know, anything. I just want you all to know that I'm here. I sit across the hall. I am here again to serve you as your counsel in that capacity and would welcome any emails or phone calls that you have. I know, or I'm pretty sure the city is working on getting you all your own city email. Do you think that's true? Renette, I know it's true. Like I saw an email.
Is there a rumor out there?
So I didn't know if Renette had more information, but I had requested it because if, God forbid, your documents were ever foiled, your email would be one of those things. And so for purposes of just the business that you conduct for the CRB, you should have a city email. So it's in the works. And other than that, I brought business cards with me so that you would know how to reach me. And that's all I have, unless somebody has questions for me.
I kind of do.
Oh.
What we refer to as the March 29th letter from you. I don't know whether to speak for myself or speak for the board, but I'm speaking for myself now. So I was kind of triggered by it, enough that I had 2 pages ready for you, but I'm going to go easy. I'm not going to say it. but I just want to like provide some perspective. You know, when I tell someone that I'm on the CRB board, and I know most people don't have any clues to what that is or whatever. So I always make a point of telling that, like, you know, we don't hate the police, you know, and most people I come into contact with like the police, whether you're black, white, red, blue, rich, poor, but we want them to act professionally, and the cases we get, they're not. So that's not all the police, but you know, we get cases where, whether it's verbally, mostly, which we call demeanor, or physically, people, and my 3 years, mostly poor and mostly people of color, get treated badly. So I feel like, you know, our mandate, we provide service, and I feel like, you know, we're not legal. I mean, there's legislation, and you could tangle us up in all the legality of it all. But look at us. We're a volunteer board. Joe happens to be an attorney. Bryn, who's not here, has to be an attorney. But our process of having hearings, it's in my mind, it's barely legal. I mean, it's not that it isn't. You know, the police, if we find something that we think should be corrected in policy or act, you know, it's not civil or criminal. It's between us and the SPD. So, and sometime, hopefully, we'll get to have a hearing again. We're getting hung up. But hopefully sometime we get to have a hearing. And you should come, because you would see that it's three of us. It's equal opportunity. The complaint shows up with or without some representation. The police show up because we subpoena them, and they have some representation. And we provide opportunity for both parties to state their case, respond to each other, respond to us, and everybody adjourns, and we make some determination. So, you know, I think we provide the service, and I hate to see us being hung up on some of these technicalities, and some of the things in your letter were such minutia. You know, you were critical of us for annual reports missing for certain years, but you know, I don't know if you've checked or not, but I went on the police website. They're missing 2. They're missing 2021 and 2022. And, you know, so I don't even know why that matters when we have a hearing. I don't know what that matters in terms of us having a hearing, but the letter singled us out for that. Plus, there was some other minutia about our statistical analysis, but I don't know what the police, what their statistical analysis is. No, I don't know what any of that mattered, but we were called out on it. I don't think that was really, should have been the focus of what's going on. I think the most valuable thing that came out of that was setting up time. I can see making it convenient for everybody, setting up different times so these things don't come out of the blue and it's like, you know, we can't get somebody, we can't get the police, we can't get us. So I think that was really of value. But some of the things that I just think you're changing some process, which, again, in my 3 years, seemed to work. And you're putting some roadblocks in front of us.
Well, I certainly can say that I don't believe it was not, well, I can tell you it was not the intent to put up roadblocks, but it was the intent of my office to make sure that the reporting was accurate. That's all we were trying to do. And with respect to the police, I expect the same from them. I expect the same from all the agencies that I represent within the city and all of the boards. And so it was just, having not had access to you prior to that, it was my way of conveying some concerns that my office had about just process, but certainly not intended to foreclose an opportunity to speak and try to find a path forward, which I think is what we've done rather successfully, quite honestly. And we have, at Renette's request, she had concerns about service of subpoenas on officers. and the costs associated with that. And so we've streamlined that. We've identified one person who is their counsel who can accept those services for them and coordinate with Renette dates and times of hearings. And we certainly appreciate that you have set aside specific dates for hearings. So, you know, for me, I just need to make sure the process is followed to the best of everyone's ability to achieve what was intended by the legislation.
I have one more question. Excuse me.
No, take your time.
Cameras are rolling. We're being recorded. The event that, you know, in some other municipalities, their police departments are responding to see, no matter what, even properly formatted subpoenas, city down the thruway, police aren't responding, and their corporate counsel is not really being supportive of the CRB. I want to know where you stand. I mean, I know you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe, but but I mean, in terms of standing up and supporting us, or what do you think about the CRB?
I think the CRB serves a purpose. I think it was put in place to address a concern by the citizens, by the administration, and I think that it serves a purpose. My goal is to make sure that it is carried out in accordance with the legislation that creates it.
You can count on your support.
You can count on my support to do just that.
Office has been supportive in terms of when on our side, not only because she represents the CRB, if there's liability, it's not on outside counsel. I've said, let them take care of it. You know, this is their thing. In that regard, we really are, that's just one example, but we really are on the same. Feels adversarial. Talk, that's the way it is. But, and that's okay. The hope is, and what we're working towards, is to continue. Try to work through how we can streamline the process a little bit more, because ultimately what you see at these hearings is a few volunteers trying to make it better for everyone, so that we don't, so that people really want it.
And this is Ryan Souser, our outside counsel, just in case someone doesn't know. Just some guy walking off the street.
You know who you are, Ryan.
Cheeseburger and fries. It's good.
So I've been on the board for 5 years. I was the chair for 2 years. And, you know, we're on our third person who's representing the officers. And each time we get a new person, it's a new game. And I don't mean game in a bad sense. I'm hopeful that Mary's going to be around for a while, but in the case that she's not, could we maybe, when we get the next person, could you have a conversation with them saying that these processes have been in place and we don't change them just because there's a new attorney for the police officers? It seems like each one has come in with their own picture of what should happen.
So I think in response to that, I think that there has always been challenges on the police side to understand the process. For them, due process is a big issue, which it should be. And there wasn't enough clarity around that for them. I think through the efforts of my office, Ryan's office, and Mary's office, to be quite honest with you, we have put in place certain steps to help alleviate that. And they seem to be working and working well, as far as I can tell. Now, there's going to be bumps in the road no matter what. Something's going to fall off the rails. But for the most part, since Mary's involvement and the coordination of our teams, we seem to be moving along rather well. So to answer your question, one, I do believe Mary will be around for a while. But two, in the event that she weren't, the processes that we have developed would move forward. I would see to it that that's what's going to happen because they're working. Whereas things weren't working before, they are working now. So,
Thanks.
Yep.
Questions? Mike, Joe? Larry?
Thank you for the
Thanks.
opportunity to
Thanks
come
for
in
coming.
and
Nice meeting
good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care, everyone. Here.
Good night.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the guests that we have here in the Common Council chambers. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce you to our intern, Insanti. She is the one that I spoke about the last time. That is usually remote, but she is in town this month. And so I would be remiss in not stating that. She has worked on several research projects. I'll share some of them with you via email as it relates to that. Activity report. We have received 40 cases to date as it relates to our activity. I have spoken last month about our technical issues that we are facing. They still remain. That goes for your city emails as to why you did not get cases to review. You had 9 cases ready for your review, but I had no way to send them to you. So therefore, we will look at those again moving forward.
Renat,
Yes.
if we get our city emails in short order, would it be to our benefit to have a mid-month meeting?
Yes. And that's what we would look to do. As soon as I get them, I can drop you the cases and we can figure out what day we can review those cases. One Park Place, in your folders, you will see the FAQ on pink paper. That is related to the move to One Park Place. We are scheduled to be moving from the 21st through the 28th of this month. Boxes are supposed to be delivered to our office tomorrow. We ordered security tape. I ordered it the other day and I was on the phone with WB Mason and said, I only want to order this if you can guarantee that it is going to be here. And I need it, your website says 4 to 6 business days. And I waited 30 days to be told the last time that it was going to be here. It was delivered this morning. So the tape is now here. It's tamper evident tape. It cost us $1,200. It was $644 for 24 rolls in each box. So our budget for WB Mason was $1,450, I think, whatever's on the sheet, our budget. So we've already blasted our budget, but given the fact that we have not hired office staff because we have not had adequate space, I think we have enough funds to move some money around to cover our other office-related needs once we make the move. They are asking that the office be remote from the 21st through the 28th to allow them to move and then we should be entering back into the building. We should be in One Park Place on August the 28th. So the official move day is the 21st, and we should be we should be at One Park Place on the 28th. We will then need to notify all the open cases that we have in the office of the move. So that will be a grave undertaking as it relates to drafting the letters to put everybody on notice where we are now. They do say that they are going to have a open house for us to go see the new place on the 18th. And I'll let you guys know what they're after, but we are going to be not in the CRB office, but I will have the phone calls forwarded to my work cell phone so that I can still get calls from the CRB office, but we will not be in City Hall Commons on the 7th floor, the 21st through the 28th, just so people are aware. They are supposed to move our copier. They're supposed to have everything like that in the works. You were notified on an email of all the IT equipment that we need moving forward to the new department. So hopefully we get all those computers in place prior to. Alluded to in the email as well is that the city has packers that are available to assist, but it's at the expense of the department. So if we are not able to pack ourselves, meaning the CRB office staff, or if you guys don't come in, then we would be using money out of the budget to pay the packers, and they didn't give us an amount as to if it was going to be hourly, you know what I mean, or how that kind of figures out. So stay tuned as it relates to that. I just want to give you guys a heads up as it relates to that. We were going to, in your folders as well, you have the 2 resumes for Lamont Mitchell and Mike Kerwin that were discussed at last month's meeting as potential replacements to the 4th District appointment that has been vacant for over a year now, at least. So I would ask, I know I sent them via email as well previously, but we need to figure out, hopefully, you know, if you haven't reviewed their resumes, then hopefully by September's meeting, we can be making a recommendation to the council as it relates to either one of them, because we really need to be able to have that 4th position done. All of the brochures as it relates to the board members being listed are old. And at this point, we would be needing to update not only the board members on the back of the brochure, but also the address on the front. So I'm really trying to do that change simultaneously, opposed to doing it for the address and then turning around back again and doing it again for the board members. It's just too much work for our lack of office staff to have to do. Now, mind you, we do send those things out to print, but we have several brochures still in the office that we could simply put a sticker on and have the interns put stickers on and change the address. But again, I want to try to make one change. So the sooner we can get somebody appointed to the 4th District, the better, so we can make all our changes simultaneously. And I'd like to be sending out brochures when we also send out the letters to the people advising them that the office has moved. So.
Do we have to have a vote?
Yes, you would
in
in
our
regular,
business? What is
yeah.
that? So we can't just do this online or anything?
They usually want minutes.
Okay.
So we usually have a minute vote that says, you know what I mean, the board, you know, voted in such and such meeting to appoint these two. So we need to kind of, you know, really look at that and look at moving that forward. Yes.
I think you did mention it, but maybe I didn't hear you. You said we have to send letters to people who have an open case?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need to send letters to everybody whose case is open, so that they are aware, just in case they should happen to try to stop into our office, they would be met with nobody there, and that would cause frustration. And I don't know how long they'll have people here at the, you know what I mean, at City Hall Commons directing people to go over there, you know, that kind of thing. So it is going to be our duty to notify all open cases that we have moved. And I don't think just putting it on the website is going to be beneficial. So look out for that. Anthony is currently out at a community engagement event. As you know, Jazz in the City is going on, and the Duncan Bright parking lot or field. So that is where he is. I'd like to report for the month of June. He did the Mercy Works. He did Jazz in the City at the GMA parking lot. He also did something with Interfaith Works as a senior fair. In July, he did McKinney Manor, their annual membership picnic. He also did Jazz in the City at Schiller Park. He did the 10K basketball tournament at the Syracuse Housing Authority and tabled there. He also did 2 more days of the 10K basketball tournament at Wilson Park and ITC High School. So he has been out in the community tabling and providing all of that information about the CRB. So if I can reiterate, the CRB currently only has the community engagement specialist and also the myself as full-time office staff currently working. All other positions are open. The legal secretary position is open. The data analysis position is open. And we also have money for an investigator through this upcoming budget that we will have to send out a job description to get someone. We'll talk later. I see the face. Okay. We will have someone in order to get that fulfilled. Again, that's almost like a contract basis. We have $50,000 to spend, but that person isn't a full-time employee, but they can make up to $50,000, but they have no benefits. So I've got to figure out how to adequately address that. I did meet with HR today as it relates to our open positions. And making sure that the job description as needed for the CRB is listed for the legal secretary. The job description, again, as listed for the CRB is posted accurately. Most of our job postings always appear on Indeed for the city of Syracuse, throwing that out there. Visit Indeed, look up City of Syracuse, look up Citizens Review Board when it gets posted if you'd like to fulfill one of those positions. But that is where we are currently.
Just want to say, I went to the where Anthony was at Mercy Works. He's fantastic. Like, it was a room full of college kids training for interns, and he had them fully engaged. They were asking questions. There was role playing. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I've also seen him with young kids. He's amazing. Just throwing that out.
Thank you. We worked really hard to get that because that's what we need in our community, because we have to build the trust between the community and the police. And it starts with our youth. It starts with our college students. It starts with, you know what I mean? We're trying to build that, and we couldn't do that with just me in the office doing all of that, or even with you as just a volunteer board, because many of these events that he's attending are during the day, or they are after hours, in which you guys have already worked, and then trying to attend those. Some nights he's not getting off until 9 o'clock. You know what I mean, with some of these Jazz in the Cities and other events and things of that nature, but it's been a great help. He has also been fulfilling some of our other needs in the office. while we are short-staffed, and we are chugging along. Online complaint forms continue to come in, which has been a great help as well. And again, we are at 40 cases for this year, and I don't think we were at 40 cases last year at this time. So just to put that out there. Yeah, I got nothing else.
That was a lot. Okay, so community outreach, Renette told about Anthony's doings. NACOL trainings, they come by mail, right? So we get updates on those. So those are always coming. Police liaison meeting, always look forward to that. Any new business? Community? Public comment stuff? Anything? Okay, make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Second. Favor? Aye. All right, we're adjourned.